Hi everybody and welcome back to Kenny G Music. This week's video is something totally different and actually something I've not done for a wee while. So you might remember when I hit the 1 year mark I done some videos just talking a bit about like confidence and how it's really helped me to get to the point where I am now. I thought this would be an interesting video because I actually found an EP which I recorded with my last band that I played in, a band called Over Now. Now this band was probably around about 2008 through to 2010, so you're talking 10 years ago. Played a few gigs, we recorded an EP, we had another track that we had recorded as well, so in total we recorded 5 tracks, one EP before on it called Is Anybody Listening, and then we had one single which we released on its own when we first started off. So yeah, I had a little listen and I thought I'll play some clips of the different songs and just generally talk through what I think about the songs now, what it meant to me, how I feel hearing it now, and actually hearing how far I've come along, because I really did enjoy doing that. The cat wants to join in. What are you doing? Come in. What's she doing? Do you want to listen to this song? Nope. So the first track is She Wants It, which I'll start playing now and you'll be able to hear, put it on the background. First of all, this intro is absolutely brilliant. I totally had forgot about this song. Couldn't remember it, and actually I've been playing a riff which I'm coming to talk about, or trying to remember a riff the other day, and I couldn't remember what song it was, and it was this song that it came from. So yeah, this intro, absolutely great. I really love how we had the haze, the hey, because what we were obviously going for there was we're trying to get like this catchy, gang chant that you play this song live and the audience would be like singing along and get straight into it. And then as we get into the verse you get Nicola's vocals on her own. So Nicola, I think when you listen to it, what you hear is Nicola's vocals are actually really quite consistent the whole way through. They probably get a wee bit better with every song, but not like hugely. It's because she was actually hitting such a really good level in terms of her singing straight away. I think when you hear me, and if we skip into the chorus a little bit, I think I sound more confident than I did when I left my last band, the band that was previous to this, and I probably sounded a wee bit more confident than when I first started trying to play acoustic just on my own after this band broke up. But it does, I'm listening to it now and I'm thinking that there's a lack of projection and a lack of confidence there that I have now, but it's nowhere near. I think when I left this band and I was sort of in a really bad place in terms of what I thought about my own capabilities as a musician, what I thought this sounded like and what it actually sounds like are two totally different things. I think what I've learned listening to it is it's the control over my voice that I've gained as opposed to being a big, huge change in how I play. So the next thing to talk about is this riff. So this riff, which is the sort of bridge, I was trying to remember, I was like dun 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 dun, and I couldn't remember what song it came from or anything like that. So when I heard this song, I was like, oh my god, that's the riff, that's the one I've been trying to remember. And I remember writing this. We used to practice in the Bonus Recreation Centre, so it's like the gym and the swimming pool and all that sort of stuff was there. They had a room set up for local bands and we used to practice there. And I remember being in there one day having a band practice and we came up with a song but we needed a bridge, and Graham, my brother who was the drummer, is sitting and he's like, yeah, we need something that started playing whatever it was, and he's like, no, it needs to be dun 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 dun, and he kept on just humming this over and over, and I'm like, I don't know what you mean, I don't get it. But actually when he played this, when he started humming it, I then started playing it and got it right, and then this is where this riff came from. So yeah, really cool. Really liked this song, it was definitely good. Particularly like the intro. I love the sort of gang vocal intro and definitely that riff. So the next song, Stands Forever, I probably won't talk about this one as much because actually there's not a huge change. If you listen to the actual vocals in the verse, I think they sound pretty similar if I was and I play it now. So if I play that, you can hear a wee bit of that. Yeah, I definitely think there's a bit of a difference in confidence, but I think in terms of how I sing it, it's not like I overly project that. I try and use in this song like the verses having them quite low and then build them up in the chorus, back down and then build up higher again. I think if we skip on to the chorus, what you do here is it's like the confidence isn't there, whereas Nicola's vocals are very confident, so it makes hers quite like a lot stronger sounding than mine. But the positive side to say is actually the harmony between us sounds really quite good. I think, especially considering we hadn't really played together all that long, I think we got a good harmony. And I think the other thing that I really like about this is the way the whole song builds up. So as you listen through, and you know, it starts off with quite like mellow drum beat, mellow guitars, and it slowly builds up. And if we skip on to the outro, like it's a lot like heavier, more distorted guitar. The drum beat is much like, I guess, firmer. It really builds and adds so much more to the song. So definitely interesting to hear it. And for a song that I've now been playing acoustic for 10 plus years, probably about, when would I wrote this song? Maybe about, probably about 10 or 11 years ago, so I've been playing this largely acoustic that whole time, and it was quite interesting hearing it as an electric. And the third track we had is this one, No Intentions. The first thing I wrote a little note on it as I listened through it, because I started taking some notes about things I'd talk about, and the thing that jumps out in this is like my breakup song. So the verses, again, written by Nicola and sang by Nicola. The chorus was written by me, and a lot more of me singing in there. But first we should talk about this lead guitar line that's playing. So the lead guitar line, I had this thing in my head, I can't play lead guitar, don't write lead guitar. And I remember about 2 years ago my brother put this on, and it was before I'd started playing more music, and I wasn't really at a point where I could listen to myself confidently and comfortably probably. But I remember hearing this line and going, who's playing the guitar there? Because I didn't believe it was me. But interestingly, I've heard it now, picked on the guitar, and I've pretty much figured out the line again, which is good fun. So yeah, I really like that. But yeah, if we skip into the chorus, the lines here are about the no direction, but you have no intention of seeing it through. And this was like my breakup song, if you like. This was my kind of my last band is over, and I wrote about this, and I kind of like trying to put an end to it, and yeah, I guess any hard feelings that were there. But yeah, I quite like this. I think this song's really good. I think in particular the drums are really good on this track, so there's lots of really cool little fills that have been brought in, and it just brings the whole song together. So let's play some of that. In particular, as you get into the outro, if we skip to the outro, you get a bit more of those. So the last song is Today's the Day, which to me is probably, I think listening through it is probably the one that I enjoyed the most. And I might change my mind if I listen through this a couple more times, and probably as I edit this video I'll be like, oh, actually do I like this one. This is what I mean by, as the EP goes on, the vocals become tighter. So like I say, I feel like Nicola already had this like higher level of confidence and singing ability, and I started to believe in myself a bit more, and this one it feels like there's quite a good balance between the two of us and how we sound and the harmonies and stuff. It definitely feels like it's one that I'm gonna relearn. If we listen to the verse, so the actual riff in the verse is going doom da doom da doom da doom. That riff was actually what inspired me when I was writing Start of Summer. I needed something to kind of build out the chorus for that, and it was this song that I had used that riff in before and repurposed it, shall we say, to put it into Start of Summer. What else did I write? I literally have wrote down a note here, which is everything about the song is ace. The vocals work really well together, the guitar and the bass and the drums. I just really enjoy this song. Yeah, I'm going to relearn this, I think. Should I relearn this song and record it? Let me know what you think. Let's go on to the outro. The siren starts playing. And so the idea we had, I don't know where the idea of the siren came from, but it was a cool idea and we kind of went with it. I do remember when we were putting together the EP, I had this idea in my head. So it's called Is Anybody Listening? And it kind of goes back to that whole confidence thing and like, well, hopefully people want to hear you and want to listen to you. But I had this idea having like a kind of, obviously we were called Overnight, so it's like a radio static, and the intro would be something like, you know, is anybody there? Over. Is anybody there? Over. Is anybody listening? Over. Is anybody listening? Overnight? Something like that. And then the radio static would cut out, and then the first track would cut out. And then I think the siren kind of came about because of that, because it was like, oh, it'd be cool to have something at the outro. So yeah, you get the siren, the riff, the is very A Day to Remember inspired, because I think definitely between me, Graham and Nicola, I'm not sure if Jamie, who was the bass player, listened to A Day to Remember, but definitely three of us were really listening to A Day to Remember a lot, so it was like we wanted one of these really heavy riffs in. And then lyrically as well, so you got the Find a Way and the Holding On, and this song kind of became, I don't know, I feel like it sums up a lot of what I went on to experience later on around my confidence and singing. This was like the song that was all about like trying to find your own way, trying to find your own confidence, trying to hold on. And then as we get into this, the actual outro for real, the lyrics of I put my heart into this, is like it felt like it really summed up exactly what I had done with Overnight. I kind of went from like being in a band which at the time I thought was, you know, locally relatively successful, and I always compared Overnight to Lucky Strikes and how much people wanted to listen to them and how many plays we got and all that sort of stuff. And I think in reality, you know, Lucky Strikes were in the right place at the right time. We practiced in Dunfermline, and there was a sort of building music scene around people our age. It was easy for us to jump into that and start building up a fan base. I think for Overnight we were in Bowness, which was a different group of people, and there was still a fan base, and we actually had quite a lot of people who were into the band, and we'd come along, but I think probably never really had that belief in myself that we were going to be good enough. And the reality is, actually listening back to this, in some ways we were probably better, because we were probably, you know, when I compare the recordings, they definitely sound quite a bit tighter, which is really good. So yeah, it felt like that line of I put my heart into this was just really kind of my way of saying I literally am putting everything that I've got in terms of like my musical abilities into this band. And I think I didn't actually believe I had done it or done that well until I listened back to it. A few other things about this EP. So it was recorded at the recreation centre that I mentioned before, or the Recce as it was called. I literally got my best mate, who is Alan Monaghan, that you've seen from the Future Capital. He came along with his PC. Now you're talking full blown bass unit, brought it along, we brought a monitor, we had the keyboards, we had everything, and we plugged in, set up his music equipment and recorded the drums in this room that we would practice in. And I think we managed to get like a 4-hour booking or something like that, so we recorded the drum tracks there, and then everything else was literally recorded in his bedroom. We would just sit and we'd get together and we'd have like put down the guitar tracks, put down the bass tracks, put down the vocals, all that sort of stuff. So it was all done in his bedroom. So yeah, that was cool. And yeah, songwriting. So overall, listening to it, as I say, so much of this is about like that confidence. I didn't believe in myself, and I actually hear it listening back. So, you know, exclude Dance Forever, because Dance Forever is a song that I've continued to play, and it's like a love song. Whereas, you know, when I listen to things like No Intentions and Today's the Day are very much about confidence and self-belief, and I think not really having, so No Intentions about the band breaking up and not really having that like buy-in from other people, and then Today's the Day is more about the kind of believe in myself and have that self-confidence, and I totally missed that. And I always had it in my head when I listened back to these that, or I was never comfortable, I think until recently. I've only just became comfortable listening to myself play guitar and sing, and actually I think I'd listen back to this and I'd be like, yeah, it's alright. But genuinely listen to this and I've been absolutely buzzing. I think I've listened to it about 3 or 4 times already, because it's just so good. Like, I really like enjoyed listening to it, and it just has filled me with like so much pride and happiness that this is something that, you know, I had a huge part in writing these songs and bringing this band together and making it sound as good. And yeah, I think it's just been really cool to listen back. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. So yeah, let me know what you think. Should I share the actual recordings, put them up on YouTube? Should I do a little acoustic version, potentially of Today's the Day, or of any of them? Let me know what you think in the comments. In the meantime though, I will put a little subscribe button here, and I'll put some other songs that you can put. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put I'll Tell You and Dance Forever, which are two of the Over and Out songs. I'll put them as a video there that you can click on. But yeah, until the next time, thanks for watching. Keep making music, keep having fun, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.